Jim Jones, myself, gold records, platinum records, gold albums, platinum albums. No, me, Jim Jones. No diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I got to show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what of my position. Kim is my partner. I'm not his artist. I was the CEO of Diplomats. I made Diplomats with him. I was with him for every bit of his journey.
My credit for a bunch of I do in this industry. What say Love Hop? They supposed to say, man, the creator and founder, Jim Jones. Hey, I made the name Love and Hip Hop. That's my name. They didn't make that name.
What if I told you the facade finally cracked? And the man who spent decades rewriting his own legend just got exposed from every angle publicly, brutally, and irreversibly. What if I told you Jim Jones' entire mythology, his street credentials, his Harlem origin story, his Dipset legacy, his so-called business genius just collapsed in real time as 50 Cent, Nas, and Cameron lined up like executioners to call cap on every lie he's been recycling for 20 years? Because tonight, this isn't a feud. This isn't gossip. This is a historic destruction of a persona. The internet didn't just break, it detonated. It all began with one clip. Jim Jones on camera, pounding his chest, claiming he built Dipset, claiming he created love and hip-hop, claiming he out-raps legends, claiming Harlem raised him, but before he could finish flexing, Boom Cameron stepped in with a truth bomb that sent shockwaves across the culture. "You're not from Harlem, boy. Stop it." Millions watched Jim's entire identity crumble in a single sentence. Then Nas fans surfaced with receipts. Then 50 Cent reposted the clip with a grin, then another, turning Jim into a walking meme. Then old interviews leaked. Then insiders came forward. Then social media turned ruthless. Every tale Jim ever told suddenly had cracks. Every flex had holes. Every myth had witnesses ready to bury it. And what came next? Nobody, not even Jim himself, was prepared for. Because the lies weren't just exposed. They came back for revenge. It all started with one interview, one clip, one moment where Jim Jones decided to rewrite history again, and this time, the entire culture collectively snapped. He sat there, shades on, voice loud, chest puffed out, repeating the same story he's told for years. No me, no Dipset. No me, no success. I built it all. I taught the game. I made love and hip-hop. I created the wave. The arrogance dripped off every syllable. It was the same script he always ran, except this time, the world wasn't buying it. Because the moment he said, "I was the CEO. I made Diplomats. I taught the rappers. I built it from nothing," the internet didn't just roll its eyes, it erupted. People started stitching the clip on TikTok with reactions ranging from disbelief to outright laughter. Then somebody tagged Cameron. Then someone tagged 50 Cent. Then someone tagged Nas. And suddenly one man's ego trip turned into a cultural investigation. Within minutes, old footage resurfaced Cameron, in a calm, surgical tone, explaining that Jim wasn't Harlem's prince, but Harlem's visitor. "You not from Harlem. Stop saying that. Harlem knows who Harlem is." That clip alone cracked the foundation of Jim's entire persona. Because for 20 years he branded himself as Harlem royalty, Harlem certified, Harlem raised and made. But Cam, the one man whose word actually holds weight in that city, said Jim grew up in the Bronx and only touched Harlem through his grandmother. Then the second domino fell, a resurfaced Mace interview where Mace said he was the one who taught Jim how to rap. Literally. "I sat him down and showed him how to rap." Boom. The internet screeched to a halt. Jim had been telling the world he came into the game as Cam's equal partner, a street general who knew the craft from jump. But suddenly the receipts showed he was the student, not the architect. The fan turned rapper, the outsider allowed in. But oh, that was only the beginning. Because just as the Harlem narrative started unraveling, Jim made his next catastrophic mistake. He claimed he was a better rapper than Nas. The comments spread like wildfire. Fans dragged him instantly. Memes flooded timelines. Then came the poll, a savage, unavoidable, devastating poll asking one question: Nas or Jim Jones? The results weren't just one-sided, they were a massacre. Not a single person picked Jim. Not one. Even people who didn't like Nas still picked Nas. One guy even asked, "Is this a prank?" It wasn't. It was Jim's ego walking face first into a chainsaw. And then, the universe piled on. A journalist dropped the Billboard stats on Twitter. Nas, 27 chart entries. Jim Jones, 9. Jim tried to pivot. I'm talking marketing, not lyrics. But it was too late. Screenshots flooded timelines. People replayed the clip of Jim waving stacks of cash around, trying to dunk on Nas with money like a man drowning in insecurity. I got 100 on me right now. I got 40, 50 on me right now. His voice cracked in desperation, not confidence. His flex sounded like panic. Then the camera zoomed out on all his claims. He said he created love and hip-hop. He said he built the show. He said he named it. Receipts said otherwise. Contracts said otherwise. Mona Scott Young said otherwise. Credit logs said otherwise. Jim was never the creator, he was the cast member. The talent. The storyline. Not the mastermind. The internet lit up with a single word: cap. Then came the 50-cent wave, and when 50 enters a conversation, he doesn't enter quietly. He entered like a marching band performing at someone's funeral. Within minutes, 50 posted 3 clips clowning Jim, then 5, then 7. He posted the Breakfast Club moment where Jim kept saying, "We Gucci, boo-boo," and 50 captioned it with, "Who is this? Marilyn Monroe?" The comment section exploded. Even G-Unit fans from 2005 crawled out of retirement to add fuel. But the real chaos started when someone uploaded a clip from the infamous 9-tray wiretap case. Jim's voice appeared clearly on tape, talking gang operations, but when indictments came, everyone else got hit except him. Fans started asking the questions nobody wanted to ask. How does the general walk away untouched? How does the top blood become individual one and remain free? Even street legends questioned it publicly. Then Whack 100 chimed in, and when Whack speaks, he speaks with the confidence of a man who loves violence in the comments section. Whack claimed Jim never earned his blood stripes, he paid for them. He claimed Jim paid for safety in LA. He claimed Jim staged videos in Compton parks to look certified. And the bombshell: Jim allegedly tried paying Whack for a street pass. The internet turned into a courtroom, and Jim was on trial with no lawyer. The narrative snowballed. Old street dudes called in. Old interviews resurfaced. Old footage leaked. Even Faison Love came out the shadows laughing, saying Jim's closest connection to real blood activity was watching the movie Colors. Then Max B's name resurfaced. Oh, that's when the earthquake hit. Max B, Jim's former partner, ghostwriter, collaborator, became the face of Jim's downfall. Old footage of Max exposing Jim spread like wildfire. Max said Jim held back money. Max said he wasn't credited. Max said Jim folded when things got tough. Max said Jim abandoned him during the murder case. And the DIS tracks, the ones people hadn't heard in years, got revived, remastered, reposted. She Touched It in Miami became a trending TikTok sound. Then people dug up Max's story about ramming Jim's Bentley and punching him. Fans couldn't believe it. They started calling Jim Bentley Boy, and suddenly every tough guy clip Jim ever posted was being edited with clown music behind it. And this is where the meltdown began. Jim started going live more. Defensive tone, raised voice, shaky laughter, contradicting himself mid-sentence. Every time he opened his mouth, he made it worse. Twitter began a thread labeled, "All the Lies Jim Jones Has Told, a 20-year timeline." It went viral. 1.6 million views in 12 hours. Every section had receipts. Every section had witnesses. Every section had contradictions. Then the worst blow of all, the story Jim wishes would disappear forever, resurfaced. True life. And the chain-snatching incident. The humiliation. The fear. The night Jim allegedly sprinted out a club before anything popped off. Old interviews reappeared. True life laughing, holding the Bird Gang chain, calling Jim fake. Fans posted side-by-side pictures. Jim Jones before and after the chain incident. It was savage. And then, the raw dig situation resurfaced the studio confrontation that nearly got fatal. The night Raw pressed Jim, glass shattered, chaos erupted, and Jim dipped the second he saw Raw at the club. Later that night, people called it the night the capo turned into Casper. Clip after clip. Leak after leak. Receipt after receipt. Every lie Jim told became a domino. And now, they're falling at once. Fast. Loud. Violently. The culture wasn't laughing with him anymore. They were laughing at him. And as the tension peaked, the conspiracy formed. 50 Cent, Cameron, Nas, all calling CAP. All exposing contradictions. All turning Jim Jones' legacy into a demolition site. And the worst part, the next leak, was going to be the one he couldn't talk his way out of. The internet barely had time to breathe before the next wave of bombshells detonated, a wave so chaotic, so brutally revealing. It felt like the entire culture was lining up to take turns peeling back the layers of Jim Jones's mythology. Part 1. Exposed the cracks. Part 2. It collapsed the entire foundation. The first explosion came from a leaked group chat screenshot, allegedly involving 3 major New York insiders' names blurred, but voices recognizable to anyone who's been in the industry long enough. The message read, "Jim been lying so long he forgets what's true. Wait till Cam drops the footage." The internet froze. Footage? What footage? Theories spread like wildfire, and before the smoke could clear, Cameron himself decided to pour gasoline on everything. Cam didn't say much, he didn't have to. One short Instagram live clip of him sipping tea and laughing sent fans into a frenzy. He said, "Y'all finally seeing what I've been telling y'all for years." Then he leaned closer to the camera with that Harlem smirk that always means danger. "And I ain't even start yet." Boom. Timeline explosion. Immediately the comment sections turned into war zones. People replaying every old Dipset moment like they were rewatching classic battles from ancient mythology. Then Nas entered the conversation quietly, sharply, like a sniper in the shadows. Someone resurfaced a clip of Jim bragging about having more viral moments than Nas. The comment under the repost? A simple laughing emoji from Nas's official account. One emoji broke the internet. Fans called it the most powerful laugh in hip-hop history. Publications posted headlines like, "Nas responds to Jim Jones without a word." Jim, who built an entire persona around loudness, aggression, noise, now looked microscopic next to a silent grin from one of the greatest rappers to ever touch a mic. But the universe wasn't done humiliating him yet. A podcast episode featuring one of Jim's former collaborators leaked, and the guest did not hold back. He said, "Jim been cappin' since we met him. Whole Dipset know it. Everybody got a Jim story." Then he smirked and added, "Ask him about the time he tried to take credit for a beat he didn't even pay for." That quote alone triggered a chain reaction of comments, duets, stitches, and reaction videos. People started listing their own Jim Jones lies. Some were petty, some were hilarious, some were absolutely devastating. Then, a voice note leaked from a producer who claimed that Jim once tried to sneak his name onto a track credit after the song blew up. Another leak, supposedly from a stylist, claimed Jim's fashion influence was totally fabricated, saying he copied looks from Harlem kids he never acknowledged. Yet another leak claimed Jim's athlete rebrand was a desperate attempt to distract from the fact that he hadn't had a real hit record in over a decade. The avalanche was massive, relentless, brutal, and then came the one that shook the deepest, a resurfaced interview clip of Stack Bundles telling a friend, "Jim always been on some Hollywood-s **T, pretend loyalty, but real ones know." That clip alone cracked open old wounds. Fans started reposting it thousands of times. Someone edited it into a montage of Jim's most embarrassing moments, The weak punches, the staged Compton clips, the chain snatching, the botched performances all synced to Stack Bundle's voice saying "pretend loyalty." It went viral instantly. Jim Jones started trending for all the wrong reasons. Then, as if summoned by the chaos, 50 Cent came back swinging. He uploaded a photo of Jim next to Pinocchio with the caption, "Capo? More like Cap no." The internet lost its mind. In the comments, 50 wrote, "Every time he opened his mouth, somebody from his past gotta fix the story." Even people who didn't follow hip-hop were laughing at this point. When 50 starts trolling, he doesn't stop until the victim taps out, and Jim wasn't even close to tapping. He was still swinging wildly, making everything worse. Jim tried going live to clear the air, but the comment section dragged him into oblivion. Cap. Capo of Cap. Where's the footage? Ask Nas to battle you. You built Dipset? Is Harlem a state of mind now? Every attempt Jim made to defend himself turned into meme material. It was like watching a man drown while throwing water in every direction. Then the second Nas explosion landed. A journalist posted the full stats comparing Nas and Jim. People already knew Nas had more Billboard entries, but now they saw album certifications, awards, global impact, cultural longevity. It wasn't a comparison. It was a massacre. The top comment under the post said, "The only thing Jim outranks Nas in is interviews where he lies." That comment alone got 200,000 likes. Meanwhile, Cameron kept cooking quietly. Someone clipped him telling the story of how Jim was basically a fan who begged to hang out after hearing their mixtapes. Cam said, "We didn't grow up with him. He came later. He wasn't with us in the early days. He wasn't Children of the Corn." Fans took that soundbite and turned it into a TikTok trend. Videos poured in of people reenacting Jim showing up like an eager intern to join the cool kids table. Mace joined the dog pile. Someone resurfaced the clip of him laughing when asked about Jim claiming partnership status. "A partner? Boy, I taught him how to rap." Mace said it so casually, so effortlessly, the internet treated it like scripture. Then a clip from years ago resurfaced of Jim saying, Mace never taught him anything. People put the two clips side by side and roasted him for blatant contradiction. But then the deepest, darkest bomb dropped, and this one came from the legal side. A lawyer posted a breakdown of the 9-tray wiretap situation, explaining in neutral terms how unusual it was that Jim's voice appeared on federal recordings discussing gang hierarchy, but he never faced charges or questioning. He didn't accuse Jim of anything he didn't have to. The internet filled in the blanks on its own. One top comment read, "Every time Jim talks about being the real general, the FBI laughs." Another said, his street cred expired in 2009. The discussion spread across forums like wildfire. Suddenly Jim's entire identity, the Harlem General, the tough guy, the boss, looked shaky, hollow, flimsy. And while fans picked apart his past, the present hit even harder. Reports surfaced that Jim tried to flex backstage at an event but was ignored by younger artists who didn't know or care who he was. A bystander claimed Jim tried to introduce himself, but someone said, "Oh, you're the meme guy." That moment alone became a viral clip, with thousands commenting, "Legend status revoked." But the most lethal blow came when Cam posted a cryptic message, "Truth survives lies." Every time. The comments section blew up. Someone asked him directly, "Is this about Jim?" Cam replied with a single word, "Obviously." The streets were done pretending. Every lie Jim told had finally reached its expiration date. But the moment that sealed this chapter as legendary came when a never-before-seen clip surfaced Jim backstage, ranting about his contributions to Dipset, yelling at someone off-camera to respect his legacy. The clip ends with the off-camera voice saying calmly, "Bro, your legacy ain't what you think it is." Jim's face frozen, humiliated, lost became the screenshot heard around the world. And the internet whispered in unison, his lies caught up. But the worst blow of all? The next leak. was going to expose the one secret even 50 Cent hadn't touched yet. The third wave didn't just hit, it detonated. The internet thought it had already seen every humiliation, every contradiction, every exposed lie from Jim Jones' long-running self-mythology. But then the final leak emerged. The leak that people are now calling the Capocalypse. A moment so raw, so damaging, so brutally revealing that it instantly eclipsed every scandal before it. It began with a mysterious burner account dumping a 12-second audio clip late at night. No caption, no context, just Jim Jones's voice shaken, frustrated, defeated, saying, "Man, y'all gotta stop bringing up Cam. I told y'all that story ain't real. Why people keep asking me about it?" The voice on the other end? Calm, soft, almost disappointed, because everybody else got the same story, except you. The internet went feral. That clip swept across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram like a digital plague. Fans dissected every breath, every pause, every tremor in Jim's voice. For the first time ever, he didn't sound confident. He didn't sound aggressive. He sounded like a man whose reflection had finally betrayed him. A man trapped between the image he built and the truth he couldn't outrun. Then came the second clip, twice as long, 10 times more devastating. It was Jim arguing with someone in his own camp. His voice was cracking. "I been the leader. Why they keep saying I wasn't? I made everything move." The other voice, widely believed to be a longtime Dipset associate, shut him down instantly. "Bro, you wasn't even there in the early days. Stop rewriting it. You coming in late don't make you the founder." Those words, "you wasn't even there," broke the internet. Memes flew. Reaction channels screamed. Podcasts went live at 3 a.m. Fans called it the most embarrassing Dipset moment ever recorded. And then Cameron entered the battlefield for the final kill shot. He didn't rant. He didn't yell. He didn't even mention Jim's name. He just posted an old photo, Children of the Corn era, all the originals, Cam, Mace, Big L, Herb McGruff, Bloodshed. No Jim. Never Jim. Underneath the photo was one caption: "Day ones, real ones." The internet didn't need a dissertation. That one picture erased 20 years of Jim's claims with the intensity of a nuclear blast. Jim spent his whole career screaming he was there from the beginning. Cam shut that narrative off with a single JPEG. But the cultural collapse wasn't finished. Nas, who had mostly stayed quiet, suddenly posted a cryptic message on his story. "Numbers don't lie. People do. The timing? Impeccable. The target? Obvious." Fans immediately spliced that line over clips of Jim bragging about having more Billboard entries than Nas. It became a meme, a joke, a trending audio. Every time someone posted a ridiculous flex online, people replied with Nas's quote, "Numbers don't lie." Jim accidentally became the blueprint for delusional bragging. But the deadliest blow came from 50 Cent, the one man who weaponizes the internet like a military general. 50 posted a photo of Jim with a long nose filter photoshopped on, and the caption read, "Capo of Cap, Harlem don't claim him. Bronx don't want him. Dipset don't need him." It went viral so fast that Instagram literally slowed down. Even verified celebrities were commenting crying laughing emojis. 50 kept going. He lied about love and hip-hop. He lied about Dipset. He lied about being a general. He lied about numbers. He lied about Nas. That's a lot of cardio, Jimmy. You must be tired from running your mouth. Jim tried clapping back with a live stream, but nobody cared. Thousands of people flooded the comments with "Cap, stop lying," and "Drop the footage." Jim's meltdown accelerated. He started yelling, sweating, spiraling. One moment he said he didn't care. The next moment he said everyone was jealous. The next moment he said he was misunderstood. It was a disaster in real time. Then, somewhere in the middle of the rant, he snapped, "Cam, no, he wouldn't be where he is without me." The internet stopped breathing. Because in that moment, Jim contradicted everything again. He claimed he mentored Cam. He claimed he was the mastermind behind Dipset's rise. He claimed his moves paved the way for the crew. But within minutes, an unreleased Dipset documentary clip leaked from an insider, a clip showing Cam calmly describing how Dipset formed, listing every member, except Jim. Jim wasn't mentioned until the very end, and even then, only as someone who started hanging around. The contrast? Devastating. Then another bomb, a leaked text convo from a veteran NYC DJ reading, "Jim be lying so much he don't even know when he telling the truth. The streets been stopped believing him." Screenshots confirmed. Story spread everywhere. Fans were crying laughing. Then came the nuclear twist, the moment that pushed this entire saga from embarrassing to catastrophic. A journalist revealed that a once-planned Dipset reunion documentary had an entire section cut because Jim kept giving historically inaccurate stories that didn't match anyone else's testimony. In other words, he was lying so much. The editors removed him. Someone posted a snippet of the deleted scene. Jim confidently telling a story about Dipset's first studio session, followed by Cam in a different interview saying, "That never happened." Then Mace saying, "Jim wasn't even around then." Then, an OG Harlem figure saying, "He lying again." It was the triple crown of humiliation. But the darkest moment arrived when a leaked voicemail surfaced. A voicemail Jim allegedly left on someone's phone after seeing all the backlash. His voice was trembling, angry, emotional. Why they all turning on me? Why everybody acting like I ain't put in work? I did build this. I did. Why they keep saying I'm lying? Why everybody against me? That voicemail shattered the internet. Because for the first time, Jim sounded broken. Not angry. Not defensive. Not cocky. Broken. He wasn't fighting the internet anymore. He was fighting the truth. And as the dust settled, fans realized something chilling. Jim Jones wasn't just caught lying. He was caught believing his own lies. Every myth he built, every story he crafted, every heroic version of himself he tried to push, all collapsed at once. And the cliffhanger that shook the culture? A final anonymous message posted under 50 Cent's latest troll. "Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. The real truth about Jimmy drops next week." The internet is holding its breath. Because if this was the warm-up, the main story is going to end careers. If you're still here right now, heart racing, brain spinning, trying to process the avalanche of leaks, lies, recordings, contradictions, and confessions that just unfolded, then you already know this isn't just another celebrity story. This is a historic collapse happening in real time. And the next chapter is going to hit harder than anything you've seen yet. Because the people speaking out now aren't trolls. They aren't haters. They're the legends, the witnesses, the day ones. And if they are calling cap, you better believe something massive is coming. So listen carefully, do not just close this video and walk away. The story is escalating by the hour. More insiders are stepping forward. More footage is rumored to be dropping. More voices are preparing to break their silence. And when the next bomb hits, trust me, you do not want to be the last one to know. You need to be front row, center stage, watching the chaos unfold the second it erupts, not hours later, not through someone else's recap. You need to be here the moment the truth goes nuclear. So right now hit like, not tomorrow, not later, right now. Drop a comment, whose side are you on? What lie shocked you the most? What do you think is coming next? And above all, subscribe. Turn on all notifications. Lock in, strap in, stay tapped in. Because we are not at the end of this story. We are standing at the edge of the biggest revelation yet. And missing it would be the kind of L you can never recover from. Don't just watch history. Be here when it breaks.